Hello and welcome back to the Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorillas channel. We have another food review and taste test for you today, but it's not like the others. We're doing something a little different today. You see a cannon jar here in front of me. The next few vlogs that we're going to be doing are homemade items. Now I'm hoping to have recipes for both. I definitely have one for the one tonight and the one that comes out Thursday. I'm hoping to have the recipe for, or some sort of recipe.
Probably there's a video.
And if there's a video, I'll just link that. So, one way or another, we'll try to get the recipe for the next one. This one, we have the lady who made this. She's going to tell you exactly her recipe, how she made it. And we're going to heat this up, make some grilled cheese, and we're going to taste. What do we have here? Homemade canned tomato soup. So this is a homemade tomato soup, and we're going to taste test it for you right after this. Stick around. In a world with so many foods to try and no way to try them all, we needed a hero to try them for us. And not just any hero, we needed a gorilla.
Today we're trying a canned tomato soup that was homemade by a friend of ours.
Half a bushel of tomatoes.
Okay, Roma.
That's what I use.
Okay.
5 bunches of celery.
Okay.
And 6 onions.
That's a big amount of soup.
And then you cook until done. You run it through your food grinder.
Not a processor, right? You want it.
I used, because the small amount, I use my blender because I can puree it.
Yeah, you want it soup.
Yeah. And then you add 1 cup of butter or margarine. Cool, then add 1 cup of flour, half a cup of salt, which I don't do, 2 cups of sugar, and a teaspoon of pepper. You cook 15 minutes or until it boils good, and then 1 hour in the canner. And then I broke it down to 1/4 of a bushel and 1/8 of a bushel. Because I do 1/8 of a bushel, which is 8 pounds of tomatoes. And that's it.
Very cool.
Yeah, Mom got this recipe. I don't know where she
Never had tomato soup with the flour, but that was delicious.
Yeah.
That beautiful, beautiful footage. Homemade canned tomato soup. Can't wait to try it. Alright, so hopefully you guys will take that recipe and maybe try this yourself if we decide this tastes good. Now I did try some of this in a beef stew that she made with this tomato soup, but never all by itself yet. Now I added some salt. Well, this is pepper and salt. I do like, those of you that watch our videos know, I do like salt and pepper with all of my tomato. But wasn't that beautiful? I don't want to tip it. That's why I filmed it before. Wasn't that beautiful? It just looks really good. It's slightly thick, but also very thin. And it smells delicious.
It smells so good.
Now I put a little basil or oregano on top, but you don't have to do that. All right, so homemade tomato soup taste test. Pretty excited about this. I love tomato. Now Tammy's not a big tomato fan unless it's juice or soup. This is September, which there's a collaboration out there right now. SOUPTEMBER. You can look up hashtag SOUPTEMBER. The Mennonite homestead, Mennonite farmhouse, I think. Can't remember exactly, but she's doing the SOUPTEMBER here in September, and it's a series of soups. This would be a good one for that, but it's very thick.
Yeah.
Very thick. It is good.
It's very good.
I would add some onions to mine, a little more onion to mine. Definitely a very good soup. There's not a lot of salt or pepper, even though I added salt and pepper in this.
No chunks, and that's what I like.
There's no chunks, and it is delicious. I like the fact that it's a little thicker than just water. You know, it's not tomato juice, it's soup. and that's nice, and it's very hearty. So I am a little overdressed tonight. It's kind of warm out still, but fall's coming. Okay? Fall's coming, cold weather's coming. Soup's gonna be delicious. I love soup in cold weather, and this is a great option. Now, if you were to can this, you could make chilies, beef stew, and other things with this tomato soup. You wouldn't just have to eat it plain like this. But I'm gonna try it. Ooh, I got a piece of oregano in there. That was good. All right, I'm gonna try it with my cheese. Because that's usually how I eat my tomato soup. Hey, it works.
Very good.
Now, these were done with Roma tomatoes. And she did reduce it down. The recipe called for like a large amount of soup. So she did do the math and make it so it was easier for her to make the amount of soup that she wanted instead of large amounts. But
you can do a big batch.
you can do a big batch or a small batch. Just do the math. And yeah, this is delicious. Go ahead and try that. Let us know in the comments, do you like tomato soup? Have you ever made your own homemade tomato soup? And is it any different than the recipe we shared with you today? I like this. Do you like this?
I do.
It's sweeter than what I normally eat, but it's still very delicious. And I think, personally, I would like more onions in this, but it's definitely a good base for a tomato soup. I'm just kind of an onion guy, especially with my tomatoes. All right, this is the Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla's food reviews and taste test. That's a long title. These are short reviews, and this was completely different. The next one's a homemade product as well. Hey, you know exactly what's in it, and none of them are long words. We'll see you guys next time. Keep finding the art in everything. All right, well, we enjoyed our tomato soup, and I've shedded some clothes because it's hot in here, and we've got some other things done, and it's time for dessert, and we're gonna eat it with you because this is a little different. This is also homemade. A friend of ours made a homemade pumpkin pie, but they put a nut brittle. Can you see this? A nut brittle on top. You see that? So they made a pumpkin pie with it's not peanut brittle, but it's like all kinds of nut brittle.
We don't know the recipe, but she said that she likes to make her pumpkin pie spicy.
So spicy nut brittle pumpkin pie. It's so thick. Lots of nutmeg. Very thick pumpkin pie. And the nuts aren't real crunchy, but it's been in there a little while. A day or two. And they are a good addition, though. I like the brittle on top. It's not crunchy brittle. It's just like a soft brittle. Mmm. That's really good. Heavy on the pumpkin spice. And if you're going to have pumpkin spice, you might as well have it in pumpkin pie. We'll see you guys next time. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Peace, Joe.
We already said that. Hope you guys make this. Use the salt. Just use the salt.